got off of work, driving home right now. That's why you can see the Whole Foods bag. Had to get some stuff post shift to fuel this summer transformation. You already know if you saw that video, but I wanted to come and speak about rest days, but not in the typical lens of, within the gym, within training, right? In fact, before you even consider taking rest days, before you even begin fixating on that whole thing, you need to understand that your soul needs rest days. You need to know when and why to give your soul a rest, right? I was reading my daily devotional today, and it stood out to me within that devotional because it spoke about the idea of giving your soul rest, right? Relaxing your soul within, God, within the Lord. And I especially resonated with that because as of recently, something that I've been struggling with a lot is feeling the need to control others in circumstances and have things play out in the way that I want them to, right? Especially with my parents, I feel I struggle with this a lot, in that it just feels like I'm trying to control everything. It just feels like when I speak to them, when I talk to them, it just feels like everything has to go my way. And if something doesn't, then of course I get reactive. I start responding, I start being emotional, like overly emotional and all that. And it's not it. And it's because I'm not giving my soul a rest. And when you understand that within your soul, within your heart, you want to be able to pour that out into everything you do as often and as much as you can, right? But in the same way that, you want to go in the gym and you want to train hard, you want to put your all into those sets, into those reps that you do within your weight training or whatever athletic pursuit you're on. You want to know when to back off. You want to know when to take that rest, to recover, recuperate, take a step back from going all in on what you want, what you desire, and instead allow life to unfold as it naturally does. And that is essentially what resting your soul means, relaxing your soul. Within the devotional, it spoke about, just relaxing within God's presence. And of course, if you don't resonate with that, by all means, that's chill. But just understand that you need to know when to just allow life to take its course. Because within this journey towards becoming your best self, not everything is going to work out in the way that you want it to. Not everything is going to work out and play how you envision it. And part of being able to accept that is what allows you to rest your soul, relax your soul within the present moment, and just live life. Just live life. And the beautiful thing about that is when you are alternating between those periods of going all in on your heart's desires, and then of course knowing when to pull back and simply allow life to take its course, you'll find that you get so much more fulfillment and joy within life, because you simply take what you can get. You make those gradual steps in the right direction without necessarily overreaching, but at the same time you're still making that progress that is going to lead you to your desired reality, towards becoming your 2.0, your best self. And it's why I emphasize so much that, especially for me as well, because when I speak on the camera like this, at times it feels like I'm speaking to either my younger self or my current self relative to the issues or topics that I'm tackling. And simply I need to understand that I just need to allow life to take its course. I need to go with the flow rather than against the flow, because that's essentially what refusing to relax your soul does. Refusing to take those rest days, those spiritual rest days, you just experience internal burnout because you're just trying to control everything. You're trying to make everything work in your favor, but that's not how life is. If you sit and you think about, just the past few months or years of your life, you'll undoubtedly acknowledge that certain things did not go your way at all. And then there were things that did go your way. But what's funny is that in the moment when you think that things aren't going your way, it's like in time you come to almost acknowledge that those things had to happen for a reason. And that's part of what relaxing your soul does. Taking those spiritual rest days, because you begin to understand that life, everything that happens in life doesn't necessarily have to be within your control, within your grasp. Because when you take a step back and simply accept, you come to realize that life just is, and that there's inherently no grand meaning behind it. There's no grand meaning within it except the meaning that you attribute it. And so when you are constantly attributing meaning through being in pursuit of a particular thing, of course I always speak about becoming your best self, because that is of course what I'm pursuing, and I hope that you are as well. But in doing that, in constantly projecting that sort of intention within the world, it's good, but of course it can breed insecurity, it can breed desperation, as I've spoken about. It can lead to that scarcity mindset because you're in a state of desire relative to that pursuit. But when you learn to just accept life, man, when you learn to just accept life, to just go with the flow, allow your soul the rest it needs when it actually needs it, after you've been putting in the work, after you've been putting in that inner work towards aligning yourself, especially mentally and spiritually, towards your best self, then you need to of course balance that out with those rest days, right? Just being able to accept life for what it is, to go with the flow, right? It just feels like I'm repeating myself a lot, because I'm just really trying to drive this not only within myself but within whoever is watching, man. And yeah, that's really that. Today is actually the first day of the 5K plan, the summer protocol. If you guys haven't seen that video, if you're new, I'd say check it out. It's the one, how to transform your life this summer through 2.0. Absolute banger of a video. It's a bit long. It was a bit long, but I truly, in keeping with the theme of balancing between pouring your heart out and knowing when to take those spiritual rest days, that was an instance in which I really poured my heart out within that video and just spoke about that transformation, man. But of course, within those types of things, as I say, you gotta know when to reel back. I'm just gonna throw out a random example relative to that, where it's like I poured my heart out into that video, but obviously it isn't necessarily like my best video yet. And of course I could sit here and try and take control of those circumstances and be like, oh, why did that happen? I put so much time and energy into that video, why didn't it do good? But in instances like that, I acknowledge that I need to just allow my soul to rest, and that you just simply do the work, and whatever life rewards you with is what you get. You just simply accept it, and you view it in an advantageous way. You view it as serving you rather than inhibiting you, right? So I acknowledge that even though that, not only that video, but just whatever videos I make, if they don't do as good as I hope they do, so what? I'm still gonna show up every day as often as I can, pouring value out towards, you guys, because that's truly what I just feel I've been called to do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But that's all from me. I'm gonna see y'all